Morning, everyone. It's Laura T at Dream Deals 123 on eBay, and I'm the Silver Owl Thrifter on YouTube to talk about what sold last night. How much was profit? $65 gross. Find out what profit was after we talk about what sold, and then I want to talk about Bingley. I'll talk about other stuff. I sold this Women Within 3X button up long sleeve floral top for $20, and I made $7 on that. Now let me tell you how sort of the breakdown my process. This is sold in about a month. It was listed for $19.99 plus like $6.99 shipping. Turn this off. And then I put it on a 20% off sale, so it was $15.99. And then I got an offer for 10, and I countered with 12, and she took it. So that's how I did it. Now maybe I could have waited a little longer, but I'm trying to just sell things fast. And let's talk about this other one here. This is a Talbot's. I like Talbot's. It's a good bread and butter. It's linen, 100% linen, turquoise striped, medium button up, roll sleeve. That's where they have the little buttons on the sleeves that you can roll them up. Blouse. This sold for $17, and I made $8 on that. And that started at $14.99, and then it went to $11.99 on a 20% off sale. I have it for 3 months. First offer I've gotten on either of these. There was no interest. That's another thing I take into consideration. So it went to sale, and then I think it got bought at the sale. It wasn't an offer. It was just the sale. They bought it right at the sale for 20% off. And I also have a 20% off coupon. So basically everything's 20% off. And then I also started a buy 2 get 10% off, or 5% buy 3, and that. I haven't had anybody do that, but I thought I'd give it a try. I had a repeat customer with this next one. It's nice that eBay tells you that. I don't know if I don't get a lot of repeat customers because I just think it's the nature of clothing. But this was nice. This was a Cabela's men's 2X. Green outdoors sleeveless polyester fleece zip vest, and I made 28, or it sold for 28, and that was it started at $29.99, then 20% off sale, so it sold for 28, and I made 14 on that. So I made a total of $29 net, 65 gross, 29 net, 5,891 gross, 3,083 net. So that's just how I do it. I'm really finding that I like just selling things fast, especially now that I'm moving. And what's going on with Bingley? Bingley, I took him to the vet yesterday. We did get a urine sample, a good one, and it did have I think some high white blood cells and some little crystals and stuff. So there's definitely something going on, some inflammation, but she gave him some anti-inflammatories, and we put new litter boxes around and gave him a different kind of litter. And for all of you who don't know the story, my cat Bingley was peeing indiscriminately out of his litter box. Not something that you want to have going on when you have boxes of clothing everywhere. I mean, of course, I don't want him to be ill and do that, or stressed. And she said he might have been stressed. For the last couple of days, ever since we put the new litter boxes out with the new kind of litter, we were using these like pellets and things. He really oh my gosh, he loves the new litter. He gets it all over the place. So we have to invest in some better litter boxes for that. Anyways, he's doing better. I think he'll be fine. I made an almond flour banana bread today. It's cooling now, and I will report tomorrow how it was. And speaking of that, get off on a completely different tangent. This has nothing to do with eBay. Nothing, yet everything, because health is everything, right? Good sleep is everything. I was listening to the Pete and Sebastian show. It's Pete Curielli and Sebastian Maniscalco do a weekly I think a weekly podcast where they just talk to each other. It's very funny. Kind of like the Nate Land with Nate Bargatze and his friends Aaron Weber and Brian Bates and Dusty Slay, who all talk about things. Anyways, I love those are like my two go-to shows every week to listen to. But Pete and Sebastian were talking about how they snore as they get older. They snore more. And this brought to mind something that I had experienced at one point. You know, I've had weight loss struggles my whole life, and I've been on every diet under the sun. And the one that worked ultimately was not drinking anymore, quitting drinking wine. I used to enjoy wine every night, and then I quit, and then I lost 75 pounds. So that worked for me, and I also eat pretty minimal calories, and try to eat very healthy. But it was really the wine that seemed to do that. But anyways, getting on a tangent off of a tangent, getting back on semi-track here, I once did this diet with a group of women and men, whoever wanted to join, but it ended up, I think, being mostly women. And we said we would quit sugar, completely eliminate sugar, completely eliminate wheat and flour products, and limit our calorie intake to 1,200 calories a day. And when you cut out wheat and sugar, 1,200 calories, you have big salads and nice things like that, fish, it's definitely enough. But you could also go up to 1,600 calories if you were active, and if you were a man, you got more calories. Anyways, the key difference with this group was we all promised, we said we would meet weekly, but we didn't want it to be a kind of group like so many diet groups. I've been in Weight Watchers where you go and half the people are talking about their failures for the week. We said, why don't we really commit to this? If we really want to do it, let's do it, and let's promise each other. We even wrote a little contract and all signed it that we would stay on it, and that if we didn't stay on it, that we would basically bow out and leave the group, because we obviously didn't want to do it. Now, that said, if somebody had one little slip or something, but we tried to be super stay on it, and it really worked. People were losing weight who had never lost weight before because they were being very strict and staying on it, writing down everything they ate. And but back to Sebastian and Pete and the snoring, one of the things that happened was people's health issues were being resolved, and one of them was snoring. And in a lot of cases, the it was the women in the group, but since they were eating no flour and stuff, the husband and the family would join in and be, let's all be supportive and do this together. And what was happening was women's husbands were losing weight, and the women were noticing their husbands weren't snoring, and then they were asked their husband, did I used to snore? And if they did, am I snoring? No, you're not snoring anymore. And that seems to be, I think, directly related to gluten, from what I've heard. The other amazing thing that happened was one of the women in the group, she was about 43 and in the group maybe, and she and her husband had been trying to have a baby for like 13 years or something like that. And about 6 weeks into the program, she got pregnant. I don't know, maybe just a coincidence, but it would be very interesting to somehow, what's the word, I don't know how you can prove or how you can test for this or something, but I do know cutting out sugar and gluten is very healthy for you. So anyways, I wrote a comment to Pete and Sebastian, and I told them about it, and maybe they can get their snoring resolved too. Well, like and subscribe. I hope you all have a great day. Do I have anything else to say? No. That's it. I'm going to go out thrifting. I'm going to try a new thrift store. Well, yeah, I've been there before, but I don't go there often. I'm going to go check it out. I think they're having a 50% off sale today, or maybe it's just a senior citizen discount. But I'm going to go check it out. I'll see you later.